Hello everyone, and now welcome to game number 4 in the series between JJAKJI and AcerBly, this time here on Frost LE. JJAKJI is spawning as the red Terran on the top left-hand side of the map. Meanwhile, Bly is spawning on the bottom right. This is 2-1, at least I believe it is. If I was... yes, 2-1. There you go. I am casting these games in the right order. So yes, so far things are looking good. Once again, thanks to the Zotac Cup for actually releasing replays. And I know that these games are all streamed out there, but people have been asking me to continue to cast StarCraft 2. I know I'm a bit rusty, not familiar with strategies nearly as much as I was when I was actively playing and casting, but at least some of you guys out there get to hear the sound of my voice and enjoy the games as I'm enjoying them. Now, what's happening here? What is going through the mind of JJAKJI? That's the question. He knows he's behind 2-1, so I'm expecting him to play a very, very solid, stable game. I don't think he wants to risk trying to do anything too unorthodox. It looks as though this is the 4-player map, Frost LE, so he's going to be trying to and get a very strong economic lead early. Frost LE, one of the few maps that you can go for a command center first and do it inside your own base, or build the command center at the natural expansion without having to lift off and land, and it won't really hurt you in the end. Now, the question is going to be, when will JJAKJI start building up his first barracks? Also, what is Bly's response going to be? Is he going to try and go for a three base strategy? No, he's going to be going for a spawning pool, and that's pretty much what I expected. Now, a large map like this tends to favor, at least in the early portion of the games, tends to favor the non-Zerg player, just because they're able to set up an expansion nearly as quickly as their opponent, and their opponent doesn't get, or they don't get as much time to establish a very strong economic advantage. However, if Bly decides to sit back and allow himself to just drone up for quite a while, that license to drone could add up to a lot of workers in a very short amount of time. That is the benefit of Zerg, as we are now looking at double queen production, or will be looking at double queen production once this second base is up and operational. So far, this command center and this barracks now done or will be done. There's the upgrade to orbital. There's the upgrade to orbital, as well as we're setting up a bunker so that Marines can get cozy inside and do some target practice against some Zerglings. Alright, so far it looks as though Bly, he does realize that his opponent has not spawned directly to the north of him. He knows that this is a full cross spawn, and the SCV is gonna get caught here. That SCV, very, very smart, naturally mineral pathing his way into his opponent's base. Meanwhile, this Marine is just trying to get this bunker up and ready faster and faster. Let's take a look. Are we going to get a supply depot here? I wouldn't be surprised. The second Marine now making its way over. We are going to get some SCVs now transition down as well, and we may need some repairing here on this bunker. All right, the Marines. Did they spot the Zerglings? No, I do not believe so. SCV hiding off over here, making sure that this third base is not established. That's really what he's more concerned about. What has he scouted out? He knows that his opponent is right off over there, and now may try to make his way inside the base. The Queen is already in position, and oh, there goes that SCV. Supply depots now being placed down. We are going into reactor hellions here in just a moment. A third command center already placed down by JJAKJI. So he is going to, in fact, be able to train up 3 SCVs at a time. Meanwhile, we may be going into a 2-base roach push by Bly, and this is going to come as a bit of a surprise. However, with those hellions, if those hellions are across the field and they are spotted early enough, all that needs to happen is a swap from the reactor to the tech lab, get 2 to 3 siege tanks, or just 2 siege tanks, one here, and you have very, very good protection from any sort of roach push that may try and push in. You can see 7 roaches being added. I don't know if he's going to continue with this roach army. It doesn't appear so. And also, with only 2 queens, Bly nearly does not nearly have the same amount of creep on the field. All right, the Hellion is doing a little bit of a of a torch around here and doing a good job so far, really doing a lot of damage, and it looks like the fresh Hellions are right there to help clean up everything else. That was a huge play, as we are now going into Hellions number 5 and number 6. However, the Roaches are running off to the north here. The Hellions are very, very fast, but they are not effective against those units here. We can see perhaps a bit of a front door swap here, as we're now going into another reactor off of the factory. That's going to be a very, very bad day here, as we're going to be looking at Banelings trying to crash in on this front door momentarily. All right, Banelings now in position. The Hellions trying to get some shots onto some of those Zerglings. It looks like they're going to be doing exactly that. The Hellions trying to win the war out here. Meanwhile, are we going to see enough? Another bunker up on the high ground. There goes a Baneling or two. SCV is not able to repair in time, as all the units now run up onto the high ground. All right, that Baneling gets off a huge splash onto all those units. Hellions now up on the high ground. This is not good. The Marauder needs to get inside, and without a siege tank, these Roaches are looking to do a lot of damage. Huge Baneling hit across there. So much damage being dealt across all of these units, as the SCVs are still trying to repair and hold on to this front door. All right, JJAKJI is in trouble. Down to how many workers has he lost? He's lost 15 workers. He's down to 26 workers compared to 20, but he's only mining off of one base. The Widow Mine production was just a bit too slow. As you can see, also the one bunker off over here, how much damage is it going to be able to do? Perhaps these Widow Mines can start stutters or just hopscotching their way out here in order to really protect against all of this damage. So far, one SCV, it's not even on auto repair. Marauder is right there. There's the engagement. All right, there's the Widow Mine attack. Oh, there's a huge Widow Mine attack. There's another one right there. The Widow Mines need to make their way in. Oh, the supply depot is currently down. This could be really bad news here. However, I think Bly really overstretched himself. And yes, he really, really extended himself far beyond what he needed to do, and he ended up losing the rest of his push. Perhaps getting a little bit greedy right there. Bly now sitting on 2 bases. He does have a very good economic advantage. Army sizes 22-5. What's going to be happening here, as Bly needs to get up a lot more? That can't be right. 22-5. It really is 22-5. 22-5 in the army category, as JJAKJI now just going very heavy into marine production. It looked like just moments ago JJAKJI was going to end up losing this game. Now he's coming back over the top, getting combat shield, double training up, or double adding on reactors, and we just may see a very, very heavy production of bio with Metavacs. That seems to be the standard play, but I am surprised that JJAKJI did not respond better. He knew that his opponent had not set up a third base for quite some time. Perhaps if he knew and scanned this location earlier, he would have known that his opponent was doing something a little bit riskier, such as all of those Roaches. Now, Bly in trouble still. His army supply now up to 11. Worker supply is about even, and this is all because JJAKJI had this command center inside his base training up SCVs. Yes, he lost 15 more than his opponent, but that is also because Bly had invested a lot of larvae into Roaches, and anytime you end up training units that are not drones early on, it might as well be units lost there, unless it's for defense. All right, let's take a look. Zergling's now going to try to test the waters. They're all going to try and make their way through, and it looks as though it's going to be a surround. However, the Marines able to finish that off rather nicely. The supply depots were not up, but if they were up, perhaps they would have tried to scout this location instead, which would have been a much, much worse situation. Marines need to go inside that bunker here in just a second. Perhaps burrowing inside the brush as well would help. We're looking at 98 or 100 compared to 56 supply, and this is just looking extremely, extremely good. I do not believe the Zergling caught the sight of all of those Widow Mines back there. This Overlord, however, should catch it, and this is going to be bad news. 31 supply versus 56 in terms of army worker supply. Much more in favor of JJAKJI as well. The Widow Mines are just slowly crawling their way over. This is going to get extremely close here in just a moment. There goes another Zergling, as the Widow Mines are now burrowing themselves for the upcoming action. All right, one Overlord now taken down. A second Overlord could get taken down as well. Let's take a look at this. More fighting back and forth. Widow Mine is in position. A lot of damage to be had here, trying to just focus down units. There goes one Evolution Chamber. Another Evolution Chamber could be coming in next. The Widow Mines are now burrowed and ready to go. There's a huge hit. There's a huge hit as well. Are we going to see another shot off there? Yes, another shot there. Not quite enough to finish off the Mutalisk, but still a potentially game-changing amount of damage, and we're still looking at perhaps even another shot coming in just a moment. However, no, the Mutalisks are right there. The Marines trying to step their way all the way into the back. The Marauders now going after, straight after that one hatchery, going after the Queen, and no problem. And now what's going to be happening next? Oh, this one Widow Mine does get Glaive Worm bounced and taken out. All right, the medevac needs to retreat. Let's take a look. A new wave of Marines, and there's the GG. We are now going into Game 4 in this best of 5 series. We are all tied up at 2 games apiece. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening.